Child, so many things happened in fashion this week that I had to put my readers on. It was just a lot going on. I have to have notes. Let's just jump in. No need for the formalities. New York Fashion Week was actually a little bit different than Copenhagen. In Copenhagen, I think I deemed that as emo Barbie.
Flashback.
Emo. Emo Barbie. That's what we're going for. I'm just going to say it's emo Barbie. We kind of saw a lot of florals, a lot of long, silky or flowy dresses. Whereas in New York, we saw a lot of masculine mixed with feminine vibes, some leather mixed with organza, Tory Burch. So I guess still emo Barbie, but different. It's interesting to me that New York was a little bit darker than Copenhagen, but then again, this is America. It's just a dark time here. It's always a dark time here. If you're new here, I'm Adriana. I review fashion and give my opinion on fashion and pop culture. I also have a series that airs every 2 weeks that has me and my friend reviewing true crime shows. I know what you're thinking. It's not fashion related, but it's a passion of mine. So just deal with it. Watch the show, okay? It's fun. We have jokes. It's a good time. If you're not new here, thanks for returning. I want to talk about Area because it reminded me of Everything Everywhere All at Once. Again, another childish take. Are you surprised? It had a lot of googly eyes. It was supposed to be a social commentary on the viewer being viewed and vice versa. The show notes that were passed out were in the style of an eye doctor exam with, like the letters that get progressively smaller that I obviously never passed. So I thought that was cool. Like I said, nothing exciting happened. Exciting. Nothing exciting happened in Area. I just thought that there was a different point of view than we've ever seen from Area. We usually see a lot of their cutouts, a lot of bedazzled pieces. I think their last show had stars, black and white stars. So the googly eyes was just something different. Just one thing to point out. One of the designers at Proenza said that they wanted to strip away the decoration for this season, but when I read that, I laughed because when has Proenza ever had just hella decoration? I don't know. But they showed a lot of long organza knit dresses, shearling coats. Always a good time at Proenza. I love how just classic and tailored their pieces usually are. You can layer them with a lot of things. Always love Proenza, even though that's stripping down the decoration is just still crazy to me. Like, what the hell y'all think y'all doing over there? What's the decoration? Tom Brown showed his newest collection with the runway being inspired by Edgar Allan Poe's The Raven, which is one of my favorite stories about longing and nevermore, nevermore. One cool thing about their show was Janet Jackson was there. I don't know. I love Janet. Who doesn't love Janet Jackson? Like, for real. Janet Jackson was there with Queen Latifah. Two baddies in the same area in the front row. It was just a good time. That's the only reason why I'm really pointing it out because you know what to expect from Tom Brown. Tweed, plaid, schoolgirl skirts, button ups. It was the only difference was a lot of times with Tom Brown, it's kind of like red, white, and blue. But this time it was just black and white with now they did have a pattern. I lied. Earlier I said there weren't a lot of prints, but Tom Brown show had like the ravens on some of the jackets and shirts. It still showed the red, white, and blue stripes, their signature striped motif or their striped logo that they usually use. But like I said, black and white. Yeah, that's really it. Again, you know what to expect from Tom Brown. I'm gonna take this time. Let me pause. New York Fashion Week didn't really have a lot of surprises. Most of the brands showed things that I guess this is about to sound dumb because yes, when you have a fashion house, you should be true to your aesthetic. You should be true to your customer. I don't know what I was expecting. There were no really big surprises. The brands that did surprise me was like, oh shit, interesting. Like Tory Burch surprised me. Usually, controversial a brave statement. I don't really ever like Tory Burch. I think I have a negative view of Tory Burch because back when those ballerina flats were popular. I know you've seen them. I can't even think. I'm surprised that I forgot the name of those flats that had the like the metal logo right in the front. They were like the Miller sandals by Tory Burch. When I managed at Nordstrom, we sold so many of those Miller sandals and those ballerina flats that I think I just swore off Tory Burch for the rest of my life. I don't even give it the time of day in the store. Nothing against it. Like I said, she really surprised me this season, but it's also her 20th anniversary, so I can see why she maybe wanted to step out, pop out, do something different, show the girls a little razzle dazzle. But I'm very traumatized by those Miller sandals. People used to story time. I'm off on a tangent as usual. People used to wear those Miller sandals all year, like run them hoes into the ground and then bring them back to Nordstrom for a new pair. And there was nothing we could do about it because if you shop Nordstrom, then they used to have a very lenient return policy. I'm talking about like you could have something and wear it forever. And if you brought it back and asked for a new one with no receipt, we just had to swap it out for you. I've heard that since I left years and years ago, they changed it and it's not that like easy anymore. You have to have your receipt. There are a lot more guidelines and rules. But back then, people used to wear those Miller sandals, and I'm talking about wear the goddamn leather off them bitches and bring them back and get a brand new pair for free. I don't know what you think a shoe that costs $198 is supposed to do for you or how long it's supposed to last. But let me tell you something, sister. It's not supposed to last for as long as you think it is. While I'm here, though, I might as well talk about the Tory Burch show. Like I said, it was a lot different for me. Usually, we see a lot of, I want to give it the term, leave it up to me to give it a different name. I'm sure she calls it, or in the fancy fashion world, they call it something totally different. But to me, it gave country club vibes. Tory Burch always did. But now it's more sophisticated. There were a lot of pieces that I can see myself wearing in this new collection. Again, with the hard soft mix, the masculine and feminine mixture of looks and pieces. She gave a lot of tailored coats with nylon taffeta dresses and skirts. She gave tinsel coats instead of the faux fur or fur traditional look. Just tons of pieces that I could see myself, like I said, pulling and wearing. A more elevated look for Tory Burch for sure. Happy 20th anniversary, even though I just slandered you for the past like 2 to 3 minutes before. No beef, sis. No beef. You're not gonna watch this no way, so it really don't matter. A standout for me this season was the Gabriella Hearst show. That was another chef's kiss. Perfection. The coats they gave the effect of fur, but they were actually woven cashmere coats. Lots of pops of gold, creams, reds. A couple of pieces were in red. That's one of the major colors that we're seeing everywhere this season anyway. Pops of blue, chartreuse. As I was editing this, I realized that I said chartreuse instead of cerulean. And I just want to point out that chartreuse is fucking green. Oh, can I say fuck? Anyway, chartreuse is green, and I'm in cerulean. So pops of cerulean. Periwinkle. I don't even know. Cobalt. No, that it wasn't cobalt. I'm gonna stick with chartreuse. Coach didn't really surprise me with any of the clothing pieces that they brought down the runway. Still the same pea coats, still the same trench coats, jackets, cool sweaters, and knitted pieces with the design across the top. But they did surprise me with their handbags and their accessories that they brought down the runway. They're doing a lot better in the past few seasons with staying relevant in the contemporary fashion market. They're really big competitors right now with Tory Burch and Coach. They on y'all neck. I'm not gonna lie to you. I've been looking for a bag for my birthday for the past 3 weeks, and every time I come across a Coach or Tory Burch bag, I've been seriously considering putting one on my wish list. I cannot hold you on that. But they have a bag that came down the runway that is comparable to, everybody is doing their version of the Birkin now. So, the Row has a Margot bag, Balenciaga previewed the Rodeo bag, And now Coach has this bag that is fire. They have different things. They brought it down the runway with different charms hanging off the sides of it. Super cool. If you know me, you know I love to clip another bag to my bag. So that is my bag. Okay, no, for real. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm really sorry for that corny joke. It was right there. It was low hanging fruit. What was I supposed to do? Let the joke fly? Beyonce dropped those two new country records last week at the Super Bowl, and ever since then, we've been seeing her everywhere. She showed up, surprisingly, at the Luar fashion show because Jules was walking down the runway, and he's a handsome little guy. So, Jules is her nephew, Solange's son. And y'all acted a damn fool at that show. Y'all should be ashamed of yourselves. All the people that crowded around her at that show, that is ridiculous. She's a human being just like everybody else. Why in the hell would y'all do that? A couple of days later, her Essence spread leaked where she's giving more insight into her new hairline. The spread was styled by Shiona, one of her longtime stylists. In the spread, she's wearing custom standing ground inspired by their Spring Summer 2024 collection. Her and Tina are wearing Fall Winter 2023 area. Beyonce is also seen wearing Spring Summer Loewe, Spring Summer Alexandra Vautier, and also Spring Summer Balmain. So she looks really good. She's selling us something once again. She's always taking y'all coins. I love Beyonce to death, but I'm sorry. I spend my money on clothes and shoes and jewelry, baby. I don't spend my money on no hair. Okay. Anyway, thank you, Beyonce, for segueing me from the runway portion of this video to the actual fashion news portion. Let's move on. To celebrate his 40-year anniversary, Marc Jacobs invited some of his favorite past collaborators to reimagine some of their favorite pieces. Louis Vuitton did this one several years ago when they were in between creative directors. The only bag I can think of at the top of my head, though, is the Azadina Laya Louis Vuitton collab. And that's just because I wish I had that bag. There are several. Oh, Vivienne Westwood had one. It was kind of like a hip, like a waist bag. But this is something that I should know more of off the top of my head. But those are honestly the only two pieces I can remember from that collection. But at any rate, Louis Vuitton did this before. It turned out great. They were some great archived pieces. And now Marc Jacobs is doing it for his 40th anniversary. All I remember, the only person I remember in that campaign is Pharrell. When I post this picture of who else is in that Marc Jacobs campaign for the 40-year anniversary, y'all gonna be like, bitch, how the hell, how you didn't remember none of these other people? Pharrell was the only person I could remember. Ugh, whatever. Sabato De Sarna, the new Gucci creative director, unveiled his new campaign for the Gucci on Corner collection. It really honestly looks like Tom Ford for Gucci. We all know how I feel about that collection, so I'll just leave it at that. It looks good. Everything in all of the pieces look cool. They've already gone down the runway, but it it looks like Gucci for Tom Ford campaign. I can't lie. I don't have anything else to say about it. But it looks good though. It looked good. We'll see what you do with the brand. We'll see. Zendaya clogged up my timeline and stopped the world when when Law pulled out the Mugler 95 archived piece, the like a metal suit. Listen, I knew as soon as I saw those pictures, I was like, oh shit, this is gonna be all over my timeline for the next week at least. And it has been. Everybody has been talking about that. Shout out to Law for pulling that piece and knowing what pieces to pull for Zendaya. Speaking of Zendaya, the Met Gala 2024 co-chairs were announced this week. Zendaya, Bad Bunny, Chris Hemsworth, why? And Jennifer Lopez. Let's stop there.
Cut the cameras. Dead ass.
If you know me, you know how I feel about Jennifer Lopez. And she don't know me, but that's my arch nemesis. Why? You know how you have some people that you just genuinely don't like? Maybe I should edit this out. No, I'm standing by it. I'm sticking to my word. I have a thing with Jennifer Lopez. I don't know why. She's obviously never done anything personally to me. Like, how would she? She don't know me from a can of paint. I don't know her. I'm just a poor black girl. She's Jenny from the block. Anyway, Jennifer Lopez is a co-chair for the Met Gala, child. Let's just leave it at that. The Met Gala exhibit for this year is called Sleeping Beauty's Reawakening Fashion. But the red carpet theme is the Garden of Time, and it has nothing to do with actual gardens. But how much do you want to bet we're gonna see a lot of florals walking down that damn runway or that damn red carpet? I'm excited to see what Zendaya wears. I hope Rihanna returns and she's back to her normal fashionable self. Catch it. But I just know it's about to be a bunch of BS walking down that red carpet. And I'm trying to mentally prepare myself for being very, very disappointed. And Vogue knew that it was going to be some bullshit. So they wanted to make it very clear. I just have to read exactly what Vogue said word for word. Vogue said, the forthcoming show has not to do with the Brothers Grimm or Disney, but rather the celebration of clothing and fashion so fragile that it can't ever be worn again, and thus are sleeping beauties in the scrupulous archives of the Costume Institute. That means don't y'all come to this Met Gala wearing a lot of florals, because that's not what we mean by sleeping beauty. That's not what we mean by the Garden of Time. Like, get it together. Get it together. Don't come over here with a lot of flowers on. Couple of other things before we get to the part where I have to actually read my notes, because I mentioned earlier there's a lot of stuff happening where I needed notes for. Tyla, the Make Me Sweat, Make Me Water girl, she has a collab with Gap coming. That's all we know. That's all I care to talk about. I don't know. Anyway, Naomi Campbell is creating her own line with Boss. That's all we know. Moving right along. Alexander McQueen showed their new creative direction under their new leader, Sean McGirr. McGear? McCGirr. That's what his last name is, okay? But it had a reimagination of their 93 logo. So I thought that was cool. I thought the creative direction of the campaign itself was cool. They were in some kind of field of sorts in the woods with masks on. I mean, I'm picking up what he's putting down, kinda. Kinda. Sean, can I call you Sean? Because I don't know how to pronounce your last name. McGirr. I'm ready to see what you bring to the table, okay? Okay. I made it seem like I needed notes for a lot of things, but actually I only needed notes for two things. I needed notes for talking about the creator and CEO of Farfetch stepping down, because that's been a shit show. I kind of reported on it last week, but it's more in depth this week. And then also, I only needed notes to explain what the new Mischief bag was and how they kind of took several different iconic bags and made it one bag. And I think I finally like a Mischief piece. I know I talk shit about the big red boots, but they might have did one thing right. You ate that one little thing. The chief executive at Farfetch stepped down, and this is amidst all of the things going on since the shakeup from their $500 million acquisition by the South Korean company. There's been a hella layoffs at the company. So many things are going on. I said last week that Keurig pulled out from their business with them. So did Neiman Marcus. They're no longer doing business with Farfetch. It just seems like it's a shit show going on right now over there. I don't know what's happening. I just wanted to read exactly what it says in the news so that I'm not sued. If somebody just randomly comes across this video and they just want to sue, listen, you're not going to get nothing. You ain't gonna get nothing but my purse collection, so you can sue me. You ain't gonna get shit. You want to inherit these student loans. So this is what I want to read. Coupang's takeover of Farfetch, which was finalized towards the end of January, has already been met with a sense of backlash from both partners and shareholders alike. Prior to the takeover, Farfetch had previously been reporting a strong liquidity and enterprise value of $3 billion back in August, only to months later enter what a group of disgruntled shareholders have now labeled a distressed sale. As such, the investors, which hold over 50% of Farfetch's 3.75% convertible senior notes, have taken to contesting the takeover, issuing Farfetch with a winding up petition in the Cayman Islands and requesting for an investigation into Neeb's dealings with the sale, blaming the now former head for entering into unjustified value destructive steps. Basically, they saying, hey, we don't know what you're doing, but it seems like you scamming. We don't know how you scamming, but you scamming. What's going on? Why you stepping down? What's the haps? That's what I'm getting from this. Then it says, and goes on to talk about how Neiman's and Keurig are terminated or halted their contract, blah, blah, blah. Listen, like I said, I had to read that because that was so messy that your girl had to read it all. Okay, there was a lot happening in this story. I saw Cassie Thorpe review the global supply chain telephone bag by Mischief earlier this week. I'll put the link to her video below. Of course, love Cassie, watch her religiously. But it's supposed to be a social commentary on consumerism and the need for luxury within just the world in general. So let me read exactly what it is. This new product combines elements of four famous brands: Hermes, Dior, Balenciaga, and Celine. The design of the bag was created in stages in different countries. In Peru, craftsmen skillfully copied the Birkin. Then Portuguese specialists breathed new life into the Celine luggage bag. Then in India, they added elements of the Dior saddle bag. And then Chinese manufacturers completed the look by embodying the Balenciaga hourglass. So if you see the bag and you see the shape of the bag, you can see all of those different elements in it. Basically, they took one bag, they asked for one thing from one warehouse, and then they just took it, and every time they asked for something different from different warehouses. I thought it was interesting because I actually like the bag. It retails for $650, and to be honest, I'm probably gonna get that bag. It comes out on February 21st. My birthday is the 26th, so I'm hoping that I can snag it before it sells out. But this is kind of different from all of their other pieces, so I can see this one actually. If those big ass red boots sell out, I know this bag gonna sell out. But I just gotta be quick. I gotta snag it. So we're done for the week. How you feeling about it? It was a long one. I know. I'm the one that had to record and edit it. But so many cool things happened. There were a lot of updates. It was New York Fashion Week, so we had to talk about that. Next week, I kind of want to talk about I may do a whole new video though about the Capote versus the Swans, the feud series that's on FX. All of the looks on that show are crazy. The true story behind it is crazy. Also, Apple has a new series, the new look that's about Dior and the history of Dior when he created the new look. What else is happening next week? So many different things. London Fashion Week. So actually, it may still be long. I'm not gonna lie to you. So stay strapped in. Goodbye from me and my Target shirt.